Hi, thanks for joining us on Best Friends. We have fall coming up. Daylight savings time is about to switch back. There's going to be a lot more dark and not a lot of light. And it's just us buckling down for a northwest winter. Hear that the winter this year is going to be pretty bad, pretty wet. Make sure you plan for your pet as well as for yourself. And emergency planning is such a good idea, and this is a good time for it, so do that little thing. It doesn't take that much. We have pamphlets available at the shelter about what you need, or you can go on our website, which is jointanimalservices.org, and look that up and see what you can do to prepare yourself and your pets for anything icky. Now, the dog parks are open. Olympia has one, and the county has one. And oh goodness, if you have a dog, then you probably need to go by. Not every dog is a good dog park dog, but I think everyone should be given that opportunity. And if you have a special event like Christmas or an anniversary, and want to do something special for that person, get them a brick. We have those available for sale here, and that those bricks will help support the county dog park with new amenities and benches and that kind of thing that they need to add. But the county's done a terrific job. Olympia has done a terrific job. It's definitely worth going by because these are two parks we can all be proud of. Well, let's look at some animals. Behind me, you may have noticed an animal of the non-cat variety. It's a bunny. It's a cute bunny who is very active. Very interested and not really a bit shy. Very comfortable with people, very comfortable with exploring. Could you come back? How about if you come back? Okay, let's come back over here. There we go. And she's off again to the bunny races. People that have bunnies are increasingly making them house pets, which is a really good idea because when you have a bunny outside, even if you have a nice sturdy hutch, they are subject to predators. And even though they tolerate our northwest winters very well, bunnies do much better with cold than they do with heat. Still, the predator thing can be a big problem. Electrical cords and that sort of thing are something that you need to keep clear when you have a bunny. Yeah, this is such a good girl. Yes, she's a very cute bunny. Likes to be petted, really loves attention. Will even turn down treats in preference to petting. Well, I can tell you one thing. Holding a furry kitten can make you feel better. Isn't this one adorable? People during the November and December are always asking for kittens because, you know, there's no better surprise than a kitten for the holidays. And oddly enough, we really don't recommend adopting for the holidays because that's when things are kind of nuts. Well, if your house is quieter and it's not so nutsy for the holidays, that's great. because the time length of of Thanksgiving in particular is long enough that it's kind of nice to have a new pet at that point, because everybody is there to make it feel welcome and to plan for the things that have to be planned for with animals in your household. This is just one of 7 kittens, and he is available for adoption. He is just an adorable little squirmer. And so if you are looking for a kitten, don't think that it's over. Come on by. This is Finn. This is a beautiful neutered male. Has an interesting story. I don't know exactly what his name is, but it needs to be a car model, I think, because he was left at a car repair shop, and I guess the owner wasn't happy with the bill for the repairs because they never came to get him. And so he ended up here. He is a big boy. He is beautiful and very gentle and loving. Definitely one of those kitties that'll keep you warm on an autumn night. He has a great coat. It's black, yes, but it has those great cinnamon undertones that just make him look warm and snuggly. And indeed, he is warm and snuggly, so. Here's another kitten. This one is a little 3-month-old female. I think that probably this one really wants to be a hunter. Just absolutely immediate, locked onto the bunny that's in the accommodations at the far end of the counter here. If it's moving, it has this one's attention. During the early part of the show, of course you couldn't see it because it was off camera, she managed to make it out of her condo and was tearing around on the floor and playing hide and seek from under the cages. What fun. Yes. This is an absolutely beautiful patch calico. She's calico with the stripes running through her coat. Great coat, too. We've had her since July. Let's see, July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. But the reason that we have had is because she had babies, or we would have worked at finding her a home much earlier. All her babies have been placed, and so now it's her turn. She is a striking, beautiful cat. Perfect for an autumn kitty. She looks like sunshine through leaves. Very, very pretty. Look at those gorgeous eyes. They just match the orange in her coat. And very playful. This is a kitty that would probably do fine in a household, even with little kids. She's going to be climbing the curtains, yes, but hey, the kids do anyway, so. This is a 2-year-old neutered male who has the unfortunate name of Elvis. I don't see anything about him that makes me think of Elvis, but there you go. I mean, how would we know? He does have some rather interesting markings in one eye. It looks like there was at one point a different color there or something, but it does not affect his vision. It does not affect him. And he's a very confident guy. It's going to be a good home for him is the one that lets him hold down a couch or windowsill. He's a great TV watching cat, can sustain program interest for long periods of time, I'm sure. Probably Dancing with the Stars is a good one with him. He likes that sort of thing. Sound and movement, yes, and pretty things, right? Yeah, or a mouse. That'll work too. This is an absolutely beautiful, unique patch tabby. She is just gorgeous. Her patterning is just amazing, and her color is just gorgeous. When she came to us, she was absolutely covered in fleas. And all of that colony has been evicted and banished. They're gone. And she needs a home now, preferably one that will help her remain flea-free. Loves being petted, loves human attention. Just a terrific cat. This is a good family cat. She's alert, but she's not flighty, and she's affectionate without being terribly needy. Yes, pretty girl. This little girl is 7 months old. So still a kitten, actually. She looks to me like a Japanese bobtail. She has that very cobby but petite build, and the tail has this rather pronounced candy cane hook at the end, which makes it look sort of strange, like it's bigger on the end, but actually it's where it curves. I think that this is one of the prettiest cats that I've seen in a long time. One ear is orange and one black, and her patterning, she is a clear calico, and that's rare enough. We don't see that many of these. Most of her coloring is black and white, but you do have the orange spots and stripes on her tail and that one ear. She is just beautiful and the sweetest little thing. Now, she came to us with a pretty bad ear infection, but that's pretty much gone. It's not pretty much gone, it is gone. And ear infections are kind of tricky. Sometimes cats are just more subject to them. Some cats are than others. And it may be something that is recurrent, but at the moment she's clear, according to our vet. So she is just a sweet, sweet girl. This is a terrific adoption. I'm not sure that I would place her in a home that has little bitty kids, but definitely like middle or upper grade school, 4th grade on up, would be a great home for her. And I think she'd be happy with it. She would like to go visit with the rabbit. She says, "Hey, you got a stumpy tail just like me. Are we kin?" The answer to that would be no. We have lots of cats in the shelter and in adoption today, but this is the last one I'm going to show you for this show before we move off to the dog area. But this is a very special guy. This is Alejandro. Do you need more drama than that? Okay, why don't we go for the 6 toes on each foot? Maybe 7. I haven't counted them. But, you know, when you meet this cat, you really feel like you ought to hold out your hand, shake, because he's got hands too. An opposable thumb. I bet you he can open the refrigerator. Can you? Say yes, and I can make the can opener work too. He is a very elegant guy. Lots of drama here. And a lot of love, too. Don't think he uses those toes to catch mice or anything. I think mostly it's just to hold on to stuff. And this guy's really good with little kids, too. Some polydactyl cats are very protective of their feet, I think mostly because people are always messing with them. but this one isn't. Stick with us. We'll meet you again in the dog area. We have some pretty interesting pooches today. This is a dachshund mix. If he were on the ground, you could see that he's kind of long and low. Not as long and low as a real dachshund would be, but long and low. There's something else in this mix that's probably bigger. Have no idea what it might be. Healer maybe? I don't know. Anyway, he is a sweet boy. He gets along well with cats and other dogs and children. The family that had given him to us said that he was having difficulty with housebreaking, but we haven't had any problem here at the shelter. He's very clean, and he's very loving. Yes, he's just a sweet boy. And he's already neutered and ready to go home. This is a dog that you could take to the dog park. You might want to start out on the small and shy side, but I think he'd graduate. Just a nice guy. Isn't he pretty? Has a great easy care coat. I think he's very attractive. That red and mahogany with white markings is just very handsome. And I don't know, I'm sure that he had a name. They just didn't tell us what it was. This is Buddy. Buddy is a Springer. Buddy could use a little bit of focus other than ripping me out of the chair. See that? Oh, no, we don't. I think Buddy needs a job and training, someplace that he can channel this prodigious energy that he's got. He's a handsome boy. He's a good-looking Springer. And he is, as we understand it, good with most family members, but not very small children. And I can understand that because when I let go of this dog, he kind of explodes like a spring that's been wound a little tight. Yes, it is. And if you're up for a high-energy dog, this would be a really terrific bet for you. I think he probably needs a fenced yard. You know, Springers are bird dogs, and they will go after anything that's moving. And this dog is no exception. He is absolutely wonderful with the Frisbee. Another good dog park dog. But he needs lots of exercise. So you don't want to get a dog like this if what you're thinking is that you'll put him in the backyard and shut the gate and see him 8 hours later, because he's going to have lots of exercise. It isn't an option. It's not like people who can say, well, I'll exercise tonight or I won't. This dog's behavior is going to be badly affected if he doesn't have enough exercise. It's just a requirement for dogs. It's not simply a nice option. So if you plan to get a dog like Buddy, then you have to be sure that you're going to be able to give him the option for, or the opportunity for lots of exercise. Frisbee's a great way to do that. The dog does all the work. All you have to do is throw it. Yes, right? Yes, that's a good boy. This is Tucker. Tucker is 5 or 6 years old. He doesn't look it. He doesn't act it. But then again, he's a lab, a yellow lab, as you can see. And they don't. I mean, until they are positively ancient, they are still puppies. Tucker has some really positive attributes. He loves playing with a tennis ball. I think that we haven't checked him out with cats, but he's very good with other dogs. What we do know is a little bit of his history. He definitely is into greeting your neighbors, and so he does need a 5-foot fence, and literally greeting your neighbors. He needs a 5-foot fence, and the best thing for Tucker would be lots of exercise. I keep coming back to that. But also what Tucker needs is someone that's around him, because he seeks out human companionship at any opportunity. He would really like to be home with people who are home during the day. He could be a go-anywhere dog. I mean, this dog would go with you just about anywhere. He is easy on leash. He is a very strong dog, but he does well on leash. He's very smart. He would be pretty easily trained. He likes his treats, and that's always a good thing when you're training a dog. And he's just a great companion. I like Tucker. I think he's a very pretty dog. I'm not always crazy about labs because some of them have kind of slobbery, blocky heads, but Tucker doesn't. Tucker has a very neat, elegant head and a wonderful, easy care, pretty coat. And he's very loving. Aren't you? Yes. Yes. So come down and visit him. He would like that. This is Carmen. Carmen is 5. She's a chocolate lab. Yum. She's a very pretty chocolate lab. Very petite for a lab. It's interesting when you see the yellow lab we just had and then little Carmen. Carmen also does well with other dogs, and she does well with older children. She's not very good with toddlers who get their face right in her face. It makes her very nervous, and a nervous dog is not a dog you want small children around. So, bearing that in mind, I think Carmen is a terrific adoption. She's spayed. Yes, she's very pretty. She does have a flea allergy, but you can't tell it. I mean, at this point, she's totally flea-free. And it's so easy to keep dogs that way now with the kinds of preparations that are on the market that it's not like the struggle it used to be when you had a dog with flea allergies. Carmen, do we sit? Good, sit. Oh, what a good girl. Definitely has some training. She tugs a little bit on her leash, but I believe that quits very early on in the walk. It's just that she's eager. It's not that she doesn't have manners. I think this is a great adoption. She's a very sweet girl. And a great companion dog. See, she fits in the front seat of your car or in on the right-hand side of your truck cab. Perfect. She can see over the edge of the window, and she's just right there by you, ready to be your buddy. Right? Yes. Thanks for joining us again. We love having you with us. Remember that Santa Paws is coming up the first 2 weekends following Thanksgiving here at the shelter. And so make your plans. We're sending out postcards, but you can call us and or you can check our website, and we'll have an appointment schedule posted. This year we're not going to be able to offer the Polaroid prints. We're trying to find something else that we can offer that's a lower cost than the discs, but so far have not come up with anything. So the price for the discs is $20, but you get lots of poses on that, and it's a pretty good deal. Plus, it's so much fun for the dogs and for our Santa Paws and for the rest of us to see everybody enjoying that tradition together.